Now, this is one of the most disgusting videos that you are ever going to watch. It involves a police officer on the force, Chicago police officer James Hunt, who, if you remember a couple of years ago, told one of our young black young people in our neighborhoods that he killed mother effers. This man was promoted to a community task force by now Superintendent David Brown under the leadership of Lori Lightfoot. Watch this video.
This is CPD Officer James Hunt, hired in 2013. Hunt, here on duty March 9th, is of note because of what he did 980 days prior. Officer Hunt went viral in 2018.
Right here.
Yes, correct.
For this encounter.
Have a seat, brother.
He ultimately falsely arrested Kenneth Lee, who'd eventually win a $100,000 taxpayer-funded settlement. It started.
Nah, she accelerated, so I asked him, I get to the grass, I said, what, you trying to hit me?
And you just tried to hit me with the car?
And he replied, no.
Officer Hunt followed Lee into the city's Martin Luther King Jr. Park.
That's when he said, I have a Snapchat too. I said, no, you don't. He said,
Yeah, dude, it's called mama.
and he said, it's called off your mom.
I already said it.
Officer Hunt's troubling track record includes 24 complaints made by civilians, 24 that we know of, including allegations of false arrest, verbal abuse, racist language. He also ranks at the top, almost literally, when it comes to CPD officers who report using force against civilians. At least 28 times since 2016. That's fifth most of all 12,000 cops on the force.
All right, stop talking to me now.
9.5 months after this now infamous encounter, COPA, the Civilian Office of Police Accountability, recommended Hunt be suspended for a full year. That's now coming up on 2 years ago. Yet he continued working here last summer. A summer of great tumult here in Chicago and across America. CPD formed a new unit, one key goal, improving community trust. It'd be called the Community Safety Team. Among its founding members, viral cop James Hunt. That new crew announced in grand fashion.
But I am happy here to unveil actually. We're calling them the Community Safety Team, CST.
Okay, now, real quick. David Brown created a community safety team. This is when you understand really how ridiculous these leaders are. When they investigate, CBS did an amazing investigation, and they show you that while violence is high and there's no trust in the police department, and they really don't have solutions, David Brown would come forward with a solution and create a community safety team filled with police officers who's supposed to go into the community to help build trust. And yet on this safety team, they include Officer James Hunt. Number 5 most use of force complaints in the whole police department of over 12,000 police officers. Officer that says, I kill MF'ers. An officer who shot a young black man 10 times. We didn't get to that yet. Pay attention.
The CFT team will partner with local block clubs, faith-based organizations.
And joining the community safety team, Officer James Hunt, whom, remember, COPA cited for abject failure to extend human dignity to every citizen in the Lee case.
This is a diverse team that is reflective of the communities that they serve.
And as CBS2 investigators learned, that's not an empty threat.
Chicago police shoot and kill a man suspected in a shooting in the East Chatham neighborhood.
In 2014, Officer Hunt was a CPD rookie when he killed 17-year-old Deshaun Pittman.
Oh, my God.
Pittman's grandmother.
Who shoots a human being like this?
At the time, Hunt was still within his 18-month probationary period. Hunt said Pittman aimed in his direction after Pittman shot and killed another teen. Hunt was the only officer to shoot. Hunt shot Pittman 10 times.
Did they ever say which bullet actually killed him?
It was Hunt's word versus a dead teen. The shooting was deemed justified as initial.
Now, as you can see here, we all know that in these cases, they always justify a police officer's word against a dead teenager. A young man was shot 10 times by this police officer, 17, and no outcry because they said that he aimed at a police officer. He was shot 10 times. Why didn't no other, if he aimed at an officer, why didn't no other officer shoot? This is a similar case to Laquan McDonald, an officer who literally used his authority to pump 10 bullets into a young man. Remember, Jason Van Dyke did 16. And this man is on the community safety team. Chief David Brown and Lori Lightfoot, this is sickening. Let's go back to the video.
They were all but one of the hundreds of CPD officer-involved shootings investigated by COPA's precursor, IPRA.
It's Hunt 11442.
No,
There
I
you
mean-
go.
The CBS2 investigators have been asking about Officer Hunt now for years. Remember former Superintendent Eddie Johnson?
Officer Hunt.
So it would kind of be inappropriate for me to comment.
Remember former interim Superintendent Charlie Beck?
There is an officer in your department named James Hunt.
That investigation is working its way to me, and I will make a decision.
And remember the former U.S. attorney who wanted to be mayor, now Mayor Lightfoot?
CBS2 investigators exposed white CPD officer James A. Hunt.
I have serious questions for the superintendent why that officer wasn't stripped of his police powers.
That was 2 years ago this week.
The optics on this just don't look good.
From what I've seen from Channel 2's reports, it looks terrible.
Professor Richard Schack, retired CPD and the chair of the Department of Criminal Justice at National Louis University.
In your opinion, should he be on that team?
Based on what I've seen in news reports, I don't think so. It seems like that if you've got somebody that yells a lot, you don't want him to work in a quiet zone.
A quick review. On July 3rd, 2018, Hunt said,
I killed.
On April 17th, 2019, COPA recommends he be suspended for a year. March 9th, 2021, still working now on the community safety team,
whose mission is not only to reduce crime, but to build and strengthen community relationships citywide.
And less than a month after the community safety team formed, August 2020, CBS2 learned Hunt accused again of an improper stop and racial profiling, though he was not on assignment with the new unit that day. Hunt's working because he appealed his year-long suspension, a suspension the department actually agreed with.
Is this an example of the accountability apparatus failing?
It would appear so.
This is one of the superintendent's big strategies.
We're trying to learn from our mistakes.
If something goes wrong involving Officer James Hunt and his assignment on the community safety team, how are they going to explain that one?
It would be difficult.
Within 48 hours of our inquiry to CPD, higher-ups removed Hunt from the community safety team. Why is he still working? Well, he's fighting his suspension. It's still in arbitration, no time frame. We reached out to the police union, the FOP, for comment. Their comment? No comment. You can see my original.
Now, as we see here, guys, James Hunt, one of the worst officers ever known to man, is literally on the force, patrolling the streets. Folks are still complaining that he's racially profiling and illegally stopping people. Pumped 10 bullets into a young man several years ago. The community safety team. So I'm just utterly disgusted with the mayor, utterly disgusted with our terrible superintendent, David Brown, and I wish he would go back to Dallas rather quickly. But the mayor is going to have to answer to this. Why is James Hunt still on the force? Why has he not been fired? You were the head of the police board, Mayor. You understand how to get officers off the force. There is no reason why James Hunt should be still patrolling black communities in this city. That has to end, or is going to end in another tragic situation. Tell me what you think. Comment below. Share this video. This is disgusting.